Is it rolling?
It's rolling.
It's rolling.
It is rolling.
What up?
What up?
Calvary Youth. Hey, safety first. That buckle going.
You weren't buckled in yet?
No, I wasn't buckled in. Listen.
That's the first thing that you need to do when you get in a car.
I'm not trying to get my license. I'm just trying to leave. And as long as I haven't taken off in the car, we're still in the parking spot.
All right.
Don't worry.
Okay.
So obviously this isn't Devon. We got Micah here. Everyone knows Micah.
What up, guys?
If you don't, you need to know Micah. He's one of the junior high leaders. He's going to take a trip with me. We're going to have our youth cast. I'm going to straighten this out a little bit. We're going to do our youth cast. Micah's tall, man. What the heck?
Okay,
all right, there we go. We're going to do our youth cast today. Is it keep moving or is it just me?
No, it's good. It's moving.
Okay. And we're going to be doing... it is moving. Well, yeah. Okay, there we go. Finally. Because I think the classic American shootout, and what's more American than apple pie?
I mean, nothing. Like, yeah, it's the classic dessert.
That's like
American.
When you think of like American picnic barbecues and stuff. Like, I mean, depending on where you're at, sometimes you might do like a cobbler, but
that's like Southern though.
Yeah,
like, this is like the classic.
We're gonna go to a couple different places. We're gonna test it out. We're gonna probably go to, let's see what's around here. I know where we're going to start because we're going to end somewhere that I personally think is
the best
apple pies. Now,
I want to be surprised by that, actually.
Now, here's what I will say. We're talking about fast food apple pies. So we're going to start off with the classic. First stop, McDonald's.
The classic spot.
Classic.
All right.
Getting into apple pies, and we're talking about the American like treat. I want to talk to you a little bit on the interview. Let's do an interview in between things. So I want obviously the students to get to know you. Now we've done this with another lady before. We did it with Greg. I think it's cool when we can talk to you guys and hear from you guys and kind of hear your story and that kind of thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that you are freshly engaged.
Fresh engaged.
Fresh engaged.
Yep.
So, for those of you who don't know, Micah, let's hear. Have you always come to Calvary?
Born and raised, basically, yes.
Born and raised at Calvary.
Mm-hmm. Like gone through the steps.
Every ministry you've gone through. So, like, were you here like in the nursery days?
I was, and it was even like before the nursery was a thing. Like my mom and some other people that I've come to know like as like family. They're not real family, but you know, we're all family.
Church family.
Church family. That's the thing. So yeah, it was even like before it was like a real nursery. It's just like, you know, one of the random rooms with
like, hey, we need some kids to be watched.
Like we need kids to be watched, and that was the nursery. So yeah, I was in there. That was a pre thing.
So you were literally like from nursery to like adults, and now you're getting married.
Yeah. Dang.
It's intense.
Shock and awe.
So let me ask you this. So you're getting married, you're dealing with life. I say deal like it's a bad thing, but you're going through the walk of life right now. You're going through all this stuff, like you have a job, you finished school, you graduated from where? GCU alumni. And
what's up, baby?
Yeah. So you graduated college, you're serving in the youth group, you're getting engaged. What would you tell somebody that maybe hasn't really experienced a lot, or like obviously your testimony is a lot different than my testimony.
Yeah.
And like how I grew up and where I come from. And not that you can't like grow up at church and not have, you know, a testimony. But like, how does that differ? Like, have you found that that's helped you in going through the stuff that you're going through?
Yeah. Well, because especially when I was growing up as a kid and going through the, you know, again, as I said, the motions, honestly, like, even as I grew up at the church, is like, I just always felt like you're supposed to be strict. Like, there's strict, like, ways of how you're supposed to live your life and how you're supposed to be following Christ, how you're supposed to be an example of it. I always thought it was like it was almost as if like you're supposed to have like a stern kind of face. Like, it's like a serious, very like impersonal kind of thing. But honestly, as I went through the motions, and especially once I got through like junior high and high school, I started having a ton of fun with it. It looks different from everyone else. Like, obviously, as you said, like, your testimony is different than my testimony. Yeah. And come to find out, like, one of the main purposes for what I'm doing today is like, I want to show students, like, guys, it's a ton of fun with what you can do. Like, whether you just hold a door open for someone, a classmate, a family member, it doesn't, like, you don't have to be consistently like talking about church, like literally 24/7. You just have to be some kind of positive example in people's lives.
I like that where you're going with that, because I think what happens with a lot of people, and you know, for students that are watching or adults, it doesn't matter who it is, when we feel like we haven't been a part of that culture growing up, like we weren't part of a church family, I think what happens is we feel like we have to be somebody different. And we do, but at the same time, like, there's still a ministry in being who we are. I'm gonna order real quick. Hold on.
Go ahead. Everyone behind us, like, there's like 12 cars behind us, so we're probably ordering lunch, and we're just ordering apple pies.
We're just getting apple pies. Those are probably like the easiest orders.
Honestly, I know. See, they're like, oh, thank the Lord.
So, okay, so back to the subject. So I think, yes, we have to walk differently. Yes, we have to think differently, but I think that's more of an internal thing and a wisdom thing, as opposed to just purely like a physical, like, don't do that, don't do this. Like, we know we have grace. We know that we have forgiveness for everything that we have done, that we're doing, or that we might do in the future. And I think, like, what happens is we got to separate ourselves, because we are told that, you know, we're citizens of heaven and we're all this, but at the same time, I believe it was Jesus, right? Wasn't it Jesus was the one that said, go out into the world, like into every corner, right? Go out and spread the gospel. In order to do that, we still have to be a part of everyday life. We still have to be very involved with the people around us. Maybe that doesn't necessarily mean with the actions or the choices, but more of, like you said, lead by example. Show them that you can exist in this earthly world and this society and this culture, and still have your own opinion, still have your own faith, still have your own way of thinking about what's true for us. It's good to have people like you to be able to encourage the students, like, you can be a part of this culture. You can exist as a citizen of heaven, a believer, a follower of Jesus, and still talk to your friends. And still have relationships outside of church. But those relationships now all of a sudden have a different purpose.
It does.
You know what I mean? Like, it's huge.
And that's the daily struggle that even for me as a little kid that I went through, is because, like, you know, I started, especially when I actually started wearing a cross around my neck, like that was in 6th grade. And then, like, I had a purpose when I started wearing it, like, is like, I wanted to show people that I was Christian. But at the same time, it was like, I had this battle within myself, and then I had battles outside of myself with friends and things like that, because people now saw like a target. Is like, okay, we can either, you know, honestly make fun of him, or we can, you know, go with him. So it was I mean, again, that's a struggle, but at the same time, it's like, we sign up for it, but it's in a good way, because we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. And again, we're not supposed to be a part of the world, we just live in it. So one of those things.
Thank you. We have the gold. Let's talk about these pies real quick. So I say that these are the classic. There's one for you, one for me. Now, these are classic for a couple of reasons. I mean, it's just a basic apple pie. They're 50 cents a piece.
They are.
Like, the problem that I have is, you see this stuff, this design going on, they have this design for a reason, because they went from having a solid top crust to a lattice crust. And if you don't know what lattice means, when you see the pies and they have those like stripes of like pastry, That's called latticing. Now,
you do some studying on that. That's impressive.
I knew what that was before that, bro. The problem that I have is that it opens up. You can't really see on this one because this one's actually kind of crusted over.
Yeah, same here.
But there's open areas of like the apple, like the, I guess what would you call it? The apple filling, like the paste,
the filling,
and then the apples. And I don't like that. I like to have a crust of applesauce.
I actually kind of like it just because it's like, because when these were like crusted over fully, it's like you're taking a chance when you bite it and you're gonna burn the crap out of your mouth.
You see, I'd rather be like than have cold pie.
As you're biting and like breathing, you're like, one of those moments. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
So we're calling this the classic. This is the classic American. When you talk about like apple pies, like fast food, you think about the McDonald's apple pie.
Absolutely.
Even though they changed it and they try to make it a little bit more gourmet, just you should have just stayed classic. But I don't hate them for it. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Classic apple pie, a little bit of cinnamon, chunks of apple. Very good kind of reduction going on in there. Absolutely. Nice and crispy on the sides. Nice and flaky up on top.
I must say, this is a lot better than the last time I remember. Yeah.
So for price, availability,
this is it.
50 cents.
There's a McDonald's in like a mile radius on every street. So
the classic.
That's done.
50 cents, classic. On to the next one.
Woo!
Next one, we're gonna go Burger King.
Ooh.
So they didn't have apple pies, my fear, because, you know, Burger King. We'll show you what they're supposed to look like, but a different version apparently, because we had to order Hershey pies, which is basically just like a chocolate and cream pie.
I know, so are we gonna like edit, like, here's what the apple pie looks like?
Yeah.
Golden and flaky and melty.
Bring.
Yeah, looks pretty, right?
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, if the two other places that we're gonna go to don't have apple pies, I'm done for today.
Well, we're just gonna
quit this.
We're gonna change the name of it to Fast Food Pies.
Here's what I'll give Burger King. They like legit have like pies.
Do they get shipped to Burger King in this package like this?
100%.
Okay.
But I mean, that's pretty gourmet there. Yeah. Thank you, Jesus, for this pie.
Amen.
Yep.
That's actually really
It's actually got like a little bit of salt.
It's really not overly sweet.
Not overly sweet. There's some salt going on in there.
That's a good thing with this. This is actually really good.
Kind of give you, it's got some cream layer with the chocolate mousse on top. So, since we can't compare apple pie to apple pie.
But this is really good. I can't even lie.
But, I mean,
I'm just gonna keep.
I guess what we can do is say, would you be willing to spend the extra money and come get one of these over an apple pie from McDonald's?
Like, what if you run, like, you don't have time to run out and go to like a store and grab like an actual pie? Like, do you run and go to Burger King, grab some of these pies, like, and then take them out of the package when you get to the house, and then just like
It'd be a small pie.
Put them in. It would be small, but I mean, if you get like, how much could you get? Like how many? That would be like what, 6 or 7? Well, 8. I would say 8 would make maybe a full pie. I would say I'd be down.
So you would take. We're gonna call this the luxury pie.
The luxury pie.
This one's like that. You don't just want a dessert. You want a dessert.
You want something that, and it also has that like little touch. Obviously, has chocolate all over it, but it's not overwhelming. So it satisfies your dessert. I'm
telling you right now, like for a fast food pie, like even though this wasn't an apple pie, you're getting the nice velvety smooth texture from the whipped cream and the mousse. You're getting the crunch from the chocolate, like
The Coke.
the topping. Some more like Cool Whip on top. You're getting some salt from what I think it's the chocolate
It has
drizzle.
to be the chocolate drizzle.
You're getting a little bit of salt, a little bit of denseness from the. It's like a pie bottom crust thing, like a brownie.
It's very good.
It's firing on all cylinders, man.
It really is.
It really is. Well, let's hit these other two places real quick, and we'll find out. Yeah. On to the next one.
That was straight fire.
We're actually gonna hit up next one of my personal favorites, Whataburger. All right, so we're at the next spot, and what do you know? There's another line. Yeah, can I just get 2 apple pies? That's it. Have you had apple pies from Whataburger?
I'm not.
Really?
I did like on the menu though. It said hot apple pie. It did say. It didn't say apple pie. It said hot apple pie.
Hot apple.
So it's like
Most places will say that, and they're lying.
But free Coke.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Should we do like a giveaway for this free Coke? Dang, they come in package. I didn't even know they come in package.
Yeah, so they come in this cool little throwback package. Caution.
Hot.
Yeah.
That's good. Good to know. Content.
You know why they put those on there? Because somebody opened it and said, it's hot. What do I do? Well, it's an apple pie.
Dang,
Crispy,
bro.
crunchy. Show the camera.
Very smelly, actually. Like a good smell. Real messy. Oh. Oh.
Take it all in.
Dang, that was like, I hope they heard that crunch. Like, that was amazing.
I don't know if I have that. Let's see.
So this one's actually like, it's the full crust. And it's not like overwhelmingly hot in there.
It's a whole lot of good, huh?
I love that crunch, man. Crunch is fantastic.
I think what makes this is the crunch, and the filling is actually not real sweet. It's actually pretty salty, but there's like sugar on the crust.
Yeah, well, that's why I was like, there's a smell with the crust itself. Like you can, like when you took it out, like you're like, you can smell something actually with that. That was very good.
So now let's go. Okay. Our classic
McDonald's.
This is that home style. We're gonna call this one Home on the Range.
Home on the Range.
The Home on the Range apple pie. So we have our classic, economical, on the run. For the most part, they always have it. It's pretty rare when McDonald's doesn't have pies. And we have our gourmet. I wish we would have had the apple pie from there because it was good. That was more of a gourmet, more of that velvety kind of like traditional pie.
If you have time to like sit down and eat it, like you can't eat that one on the
This
run.
one's the Home on the Range. This kind of crosses that cobbler, kind of crispy, flaky, kind of turnover kind of thing.
Yeah.
What does Whataburger stand with you?
I would have to skyrocket Whataburger over McDonald's. Like that was fantastic. That was really good. I can't even lie. That was
So
really good.
I like Burger King's apple pie. I've had it before. And like I said, based off of what you were able to kind of taste with their Hershey's chocolate pie, I like Whataburger because it's like got that crunch. I like the crunch.
Yeah.
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 This guy almost just like hit me because
you don't have cash.
So we're at
Wait,
Popeyes.
this is Popeyes. I just put that together.
We're at Popeyes. I pray that they have pies.
I'm just gonna get my spiel. I like Popeyes better.
Yeah.
The chicken sandwich, at least. I'll say the chicken sandwich.
Well,
That's me.
it depends on what you want, though. Like, I really believe that if you're getting a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A and a chicken sandwich from Popeyes, it's a completely different sandwich. So, have you had Popeyes?
Never.
Apple pie?
Never. Didn't even know they had dessert.
Exactly. Okay. Similar.
Whoa. Cinnamon.
There's cinnamon. So similar kind of package going on. Here, grab this. I got
Dang, that thing just spewed cinnamon.
Yeah,
Well,
cinnamon.
it is called the cinnamon apple pie.
hot cinnamon apple pie.
Should we roll down the window and like tap it out?
I'm gonna
Air it
tap
out.
all over this.
Air it out.
Very neatly packaged. Oh, filet of goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, covered in cinnamon sugar. This is probably the closest thing I would say to Whataburger if Whataburger were to do an apple churro.
That's true, actually.
This is very much like a churro. I'm saying churro. Churro.
Churro.
Okay, churro.
I'm not gonna try.
So let's go ahead. Let's just dig in.
Wow.
You don't even have to say words.
Oh,
I saved
man.
this one for last for a reason.
Wow.
Flaky, crunchy, just as much crunch as Whataburger.
Wow.
Fried, obviously, like Whataburger, but covered in cinnamon sugar. Nice salty filling, just like Whataburger, but elevated.
Man. It's got, like, the cool thing about it too is, as you were saying, like, it's flaky. It's got like the air, like it's got air in there.
Mm-hmm.
So like the inside is like not even like as hot as the filling's not as hot as even like Whataburger. Like it is like, it's super flaky, super like open, that it's allowing it to be just over the top. Oh man.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they took an apple pie to another level.
This is like the definition of soul food dessert.
Yeah.
I'm just really surprised. Like,
You didn't. Okay, so I was in the same, like, first of all, when did they start having apple pies? And second of all, how do more people not know about their apple pies?
it literally reminded me of a churro, like filled with apple pies. Like, should have been called the churro pie, like churro pie, like apple pie. That was so fantastic. Man.
Very, very fluffy, airy, just like a churro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, and it was fried too. I mean, you could tell that was fried. Like, not baked. It was fried.
Amazing. So, let's go back to the drawing board. Economic, we have the classic. The deluxe, we have what did I call it?
Oh, let's call it, I don't want to say supreme, but delicacy? Was it delicate? It wasn't delicacy.
I don't even remember what we called it. Like
Fancy. Let's just say fancy. The fancy.
the deluxe. The deluxe one
Yeah.
with Burger King. Even though that wasn't an apple pie,
It was a pie.
but we can kind of see where they were going with the pie. Fast food dessert. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's part of it too. Like, you have to be judged based on your availability at a fast food restaurant. We got the deluxe, we have the classic, we have the home on the range pie with the Whataburger, and then we got we'll call this one the since it's the Louisiana kitchen, we're gonna call it the Latino kitchen apple pie, because they brought a little bit of that Latino in there.
Alright with
They
that.
brought it in with that churro style with
I'll
the
go
cinnamon
with it.
sugar. Oh man.
Should I answer? It's Popeyes.
Popeyes.
Bruh, that Popeyes cinnamon apple pie.
It's hard to beat. And if you think that you have a place that's better than Popeyes,
I would
or if you
shout.
haven't had Popeyes, try Popeyes and then tell me I have a place that's better. I've tried the Popeyes, it's good, but there's a place that's better. You let us know. Drop it in the comments, message us on Instagram, do what you got to do. Follow us at Calvary Youth PHX, Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. And let us know. Micah, it's been great.
So great. Oh wait, it's COVID. Should we bump?
Well, we've been in the car for like 40 minutes already. With that being said, till next week, make sure you guys are checking out all the stuff we got going on with services. We got back into services this week.
Service. We're back, guys.
We're back. So if you're watching this and you haven't been to the room, you haven't been with us in person, come this Sunday. It's awesome. We have our games, we have our goofiness, we're doing our worship. It's great.
Nothing's different besides just wearing a mask.
Wearing a mask, we got a little bit of distance between us. Other than that, man,
It's
Come
to be
on
back.
in and have some fun with us. So we'll see you guys this weekend, and if not, we'll see you guys next week on the channel.
Love you guys.
Deuce.